Good morning, everyone. This is the episode that defies all episodes because it is an episode that is literally 2 weeks in the making because I fell asleep the first time and the second time Skype didn't want to work, and today CC can't join us. It's a conspiracy against this episode.
I know, but this is the episode that will make it.
We're just gonna do it. Screw it all.
It will be known as the little episode that could. How's that?
F you, universe.
If we had titles, this would be the little episode that could.
Because we're going to do it. And I see the little red numbers are going up, which means we're recording.
And the audio is being recorded as well, isn't it?
We're seeing audio bouncing, so this is good.
Good.
I have done my part.
So far.
Up until the upload.
I do want
to forget.
Shut up. I do want to give a shout out to Fumfu, who was one of our co-hosts, who had his birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Fumfu.
I said happy birthday to him. I was so good.
Oh, yes, you actually remembered.
Well, Skype tells me these things. So.
I know. Who needs to remember things and be a decent human being when Skype and Facebook tells us everything?
Well, I never technically knew his birthday, so Skype tells me these things.
It's okay. The only birthdays I remember are my husband's, my father's, and my mother's. I don't remember my brother's birthday. I don't remember anyone's birthday. So
I used to have a problem with remembering any birthday that occurred after mine.
That's strange.
Well, no, because mine was the only one that mattered as far as I was concerned. So anything later in the year, I didn't care about.
They're mine.
Once you give me the presents, I'm done.
Give me your presents.
So, anyways, as I said, CC can't join us. We put some of her stuff in here. She actually wasn't able to join us last week because I didn't realize that she was out of town.
Today she has a splitting headache.
And unfortunately, today our thoughts with her because of her headache.
Which means that she gets to use her topics for next week.
Yeah. We're already using week-old topics as it is, so we're already stretching the news.
They're fascinating topics. Shut up.
Yeah.
Especially mine.
One of them is still topical. Our roundtable is still topical.
Oh,
our roundtable has become more topical because that's what's made it a roundtable.
Oh god, that dumpster fire.
So before I get really starting, we're just going to jump into this. So welcome to Geekamole episode 228, our 59th official episode. And so our first topic of the day, if I turn it on, there we go. So last week, what?
Turn it up, let it down. This is the... You don't know how to play the Grinch?
No.
God, you're so lame. I'm going to have to introduce you to some good music.
Thank you, Billy Joel.
What? It's not Billy Joel, that's Hedwig and the Angry Inch.
I didn't say it was. I'm picking on you because you couldn't listen to Billy Joel yesterday.
Well, that was not my fault, it was fucking Windows.
So there.
Anyways, go on to your...
topic, yes, hi. So, late last week, Turtle Rock, and I love the name of that company, Turtle Rock released Evolve Stage 2. They have taken the game to free-to-play in order to bring back the very seriously waning group of players. They have actually been very successful. As of my last check, it was at number 17 on Steam's 20 top most played games. It had over 25,000 concurrent players, which was significantly up because I guess when Evolve itself launched, they peaked at 150 or so. Now, of course, the people who were fans of Evolve in its original incarnation are not so happy because they have lost several things that they enjoyed in the game, such as skins that they had earned. And some other features. There was a game mode that they had earned that has gone away. Turtle Rock has done their best in order to give back some credits, I guess, so to speak. But I think ultimately most people will enjoy this with the fact that there are people to actually play with. So, yes, it's a little bit less tactic based and a bit more of a Zerg run these days, but you at least have people to play with. So deal with it.
What kind of argument is that? Yeah, it sucks, but there's people you can play with.
Well, it doesn't suck per se. It's a slightly different build than the original game. But the premise is still there, and the fact that you've gone up from 150 concurrent players to 25,000 concurrent players shows that the vast majority of people are at least interested in playing this version.
Well, I guess.
So, at least they're trying to make the people who originally played happy. I mean, I don't think they'll ever make them completely satisfied, but whatever. Next up,
Final Fantasy 12, bitches! So we have Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age, which is basically a remake, high-definition remake of Final Fantasy 12 that's coming to the PlayStation 4. No news on the PC release, even though it was originally rumored to be coming also for the PC. They're taking to address a couple of issues that people had with the game originally. For example, now you can have a job system instead of the stupid license system where you basically needed to have a license to wear a fucking hat. They're also going to change the game balance, and they're going to do some tweaking to the combat. There's also going to be a high-speed mode so that when you're traversing enormous bounds of terrain, you will no longer feel like you're slowly dying inside. It's coming out sometime in 2017 for the PlayStation 4, so fingers crossed.
And the irony is when I played this game, I still felt it was the shortest possible Final Fantasy that I had ever played.
I don't know. Traversing that terrain was just like, oh my god, this map will never end. Because of all the backtracking you had to do.
I never had a problem with it. I just kept thinking, God, that was a really quick story, compared to like 7 and 8. But
it was still a better story than 13.
13, the never-ending dungeon simulator?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The game that I never got past like chapter 3 because I got tired of being in the dungeon.
Yeah, the 60-hour corridor.
Yeah.
I wish they would announce the PC version of this remake because, as you can see, almost every Final Fantasy is now in the Steam store. Almost every Final Fantasy. Actually, they've gone. Yeah, the only ones that aren't there are actually 12 because they've got 9, they have 10, they have 6, 7, 5, 4.
Do they have Origins? I didn't see I don't remember if Origins was there.
Oh no. I don't know. I also hope that they might get a clue someday and actually release a remake of Chrono Trigger for the PC and the PlayStation.
I still want them to redo Vagrant Story.
And Vagrant Story. Did they also do Live Alive or whatever it's called?
You got me there.
Oh, you never played the game?
I'm not familiar with that one.
I might do a spotlight on that one because it never officially came to the US, but there's a shit ton of fan translated ROMs out there. So yeah.
So there. Moving on. Pray for the Gods. I don't even remember how I stumbled across this. All I know is I saw this and was immediately hooked. My friend Vibeat Fu, who is a Twitch broadcaster, was recently playing Shadow of the Colossus, and this is Shadow of the Colossus taken up to the next notch. This is a Kickstarter campaign. It has 19 days to go as of today. They have 7,069 backers. They are at $236,824 out of $300 required. So they are really screaming in on this. It is beautiful. I encourage you to go to Kickstarter, look up Pray for the Gods, I'm not going to obviously show the video here because this is,
because you're going to get slammed.
I don't want to get slammed with oh, I forgot to mention the DMCA thing. We'll talk about that in a minute.
We'll talk about that.
But basically, this is it's a vast, mysterious, frozen world. It's actually you're trapped on a frozen island, and in order to get off this island, you have to kill the gods you used to worship. And so you have.
So it's kind of like How to Become Richard Dawkins game.
Sure.
We should call it that, Richard Dawkins the Simulator.
So you have to you have a dynamic snow terrain that you have to traverse. Not every enemy is a Colossus. There's one that's like this shadow thing that stalks you. That's about your size. It's intense survival gameplay. There are mysterious temples that contain secrets and treasures. There have clearly been other people on this island who have come before you and apparently failed. So you have to find their shit. Dynamic weather, it's a day-night cycle, and unlike Shadow of the Colossus, it is non-linear. So you can go kill these assholes in whatever order you want.
Sounds good to me.
But
I'm all for killing gods.
If I had any possible remote thought that I might be able to successfully play it, I may still go back it because I'm notorious for forgetting I've backed things.
It's like Alzheimer's Christmas. Like, I backed this? I get this game? Oh my god!
Well, except that I always forget to go re-register on whatever website that they tell me to go to. And I'm like, oh, I had to do this yesterday? Oh well.
See, that's why you always set a little filter for Kickstarter messages, like I do, because I have backed... Now, I don't want to brag, but outside of all of the Kickstarter games that I have backed, only one turned out to be a dud. And even then, it didn't really turn out to be a dud because another company picked it up and finished it, and it delivered it. It just didn't deliver it the way it was meant to be delivered. This was a tabletop game, and I had ordered a deluxe edition with hardbound cover for my husband for Christmas, and instead we got a PDF, but still got it. But so far, I know how to pick a winner.
I almost feel like we should be talking about Star Citizen again.
No, that hurts my innards.
I sent you the article on that one where the guy got to sue them.
Oh yeah, no. Here, that thing is just a dumpster fire.
But anyways, pray for the gods. $70,000, less than almost $70,000 away. Go do it. 19 days. I'm sure they will be up in there in bonus, whatever the hell it's called, goals.
Do the backing that Drew does not do.
I may still do it. I just know I will never play it because I am no good at this type of a game. But maybe I'll buy it and let somebody else play it for me.
No. You should buy it. You should play it. You should make a hilarious video of you failing and playing it. People love it.
Yeah, that'll make me happy. I'll play it in the hour-long things that I've been doing where I can just fall off the monster repeatedly.
Who cares about what makes you happy? We're talking about the audience. That's what the audience wants.
You see, if the person playing the game is not happy...
It's even more entertaining.
No.
Schadenfreude is a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing, but if the salt will be real and so will the rage quit. So moving on to Final Fantasy VII...
Okay, so, those of you who have longed for the days of enormous weapons and spiky emo hair and a shit ton of belts everywhere, never fear, Final Fantasy VII is here on the Google Play Store for the small price of $15.99 because Squaresoft still doesn't know how to price its games. The Android and iOS version have what I call the wussy mode, which is basically it gives you the ability to turn off enemy encounters and max your stats at a command because you are a goddamn wussy who don't know how to Final Fantasy.
Wow, even I wouldn't do that. And I cheat in games a lot.
Yeah. I know, it's always to experience the story. Yeah, I know. You're buying a goddamn motherfucking Final Fantasy game. You're doing it partly for the combat. If you want to read a story, go watch a playthrough. But anyways, it's on the Google Play Store for entirely way too much money. So I will not be buying it. Instead, I will be playing Final Fantasy VI on my Steam. But I got it when it was on sale, so...
The only Final Fantasy I ever cheated on was Dirge of Cerberus, and that's because I can't aim.
Well, Dirge of Cerberus and all of basically the entire period through which Squaresoft was trying to milk that goddamn Final Fantasy VII franchise to the bone, produced some of the worst games they produced before 13. Dirge of Cerberus, before Crisis, they're just bad.
Well, in all fairness, I did pick up Dirge of Cerberus again. I do have it behind me. So I will play it again, unless, of course, they bring it into the new Final Fantasy remake, in which case, oh, fuck it, I'll play it that way?
No. And it has the most annoying character as a protagonist, Vincent Valentine, Captain Emo.
I liked Vincent.
Captain Emo Guyliner, for crying out loud. No.
I enjoyed Vincent.
No, he's a mopey little son of a bitch.
Yes, so?
He would. It was a novelty when he was the only one, but since
Now everyone's mopey Nemo.
like, look at the Final Fantasy games that came after that. Look at Final Fantasy VIII. There was emo all over that goddamn place.
Cloud is just the love child of. Oh, probably Leon is the love child of Cloud and Vincent.
Yes, exactly. So I hate Vincent Valentine because he was kind of like the harbinger of things to come for Squaresoft storytelling and character development, which essentially became. It could be simplified as one manly tier all the time. And I am so fucking tired of all of that. And I know that in Japanese storytelling, emotions are very emphasized, and I know that there's this concept that suffering stoically and gracefully through great difficulties grants you a measure of grace and nobility. I get that, but we don't need that all the fucking time in all the goddamn fucking characters. And
moving on.
Yeah. Yes. Let's move on. Final Fantasy in your Android. Get it if you want to. Don't turn on wussy mode.
So when we had CC here, we had a whole bunch of Blizzard news that was going to culminate in this, but I'll just do the culmination part. Blizzard is suing German company Bossland GmbH for creation of Watchtower Tyrant. Watchover Tyrant. Because that was the cheat that was allowing people to basically see through walls and know where people were and know their status and health in Overwatch.
In other words, the NSA cheats.
Basically, the thing that got an ass ton of people banned outright, that we mentioned a couple episodes ago. So basically, Blizzard has filed, and this is the main thing, they filed it with a California court. It's a German company. Not sure how this is going to work out because the GmbH has basically said, let them sue us in California. We don't fucking care. They can't, because California court really has absolutely no jurisdiction over a German company.
It's kind of strange. You would think they would file it in Germany, unless Germany patents aren't, done.
But basically, Blizzard claims that the tools have led to the loss of millions or tens of millions of dollars of revenue and has caused Blizzard to suffer irreparable damage to its goodwill and reputation. Blizzard is asking for monetary compensation for all the alleged damage done by the publisher, as well as punitive damages. Blizzard has sued Bossland previously in Germany over a cheating tool developed for Heroes of the Storm. Unfortunately, Blizzard lost that case and was ordered to pay Bossland's legal fees. So that could be why they're not doing it in Germany this time. Because Germany don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Who knows? But Blizzard isn't the only publisher seeking legal action against cheat tool makers for copyright infringement and unfair competition. Epic Games has filed a suit against another German gamer company that has developed that has created another hack.
Words.
Yeah, words. Basically, they're serving another German company that created a hack for Paragon, which is Epic's game. And was being sold for apparently for a subscription fee, a monthly subscription fee. That's the ironic thing. The cheat was being sold for a subscription fee. Quite honestly, I can see them wanting to do this, to do the lawsuit, but if your game is that hackable,
you got other things to worry about.
I would say perhaps you should have caught that in beta. Maybe you should hire some people. I don't know. Just saying.
Maybe you might want to take a look at that.
Just take a look at that. This is a thought. If you're really broadcasting that much information that people can, with a third party, can. So I'm just saying. So moving on to No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky, the game that nobody really knows how it's going to play, and and which has been plagued by development issues, mostly just delays and death threats, of course, has now finally gone gold. We have confirmation. There's a picture of the goddamn CD too, and so it looks like it is going to meet its August release date. Many people are very excited about this, myself included. And I am not going to. I have not pre-ordered the game because I still don't know what the fuck it is. I know what it is. I don't know how it plays, and we've seen very scarce footage from it. So I'm going to play cautious, and I'm just going to wait until I see some reviews. But I hope it's good. It looks gorgeous.
So says the man with the Hyperlight Drifter graphics finish.
Hey, that looks fucking good. That looks fucking good.
I didn't say it wasn't good. I'm just saying you have a graphics fetish. So.
Hey, no, I do not have a graphics fetish. I have an appreciation for alternative aesthetics. especially neon trash, right? I'm sorry, if you can take that palette and make it good and make it look good, you deserve the praise. It's something that was squirted out of the 80s.
Squirted out of the 80s.
It is. It's neon everywhere, and I love it. I
All
fucking
right.
love it.
Moving on to Alex Boyes and PlayStation.
Oh yeah. Wait, wasn't there a topic before me?
Yes, there was. It was CC's.
Oh, okay. So, alas, Adam Boyes, whom you might remember, most people remember him from that infamous E3 dig at the Xbox, where he basically showed people how you could share used games on a PlayStation 4 and just handed the DVD to someone. That Adam Boyes, how did you...
I'm thinking Boyes.
Boyes, yeah, Adam Boyes, like, okay. So he is the vice president of publisher and developer relations at PlayStation. He has officially left the building. On July 7th, he announced on Twitter that he was leaving the company to work as an independent game developer. He has been with the company since 2012, so he's only been there for about 4 years. But he did gain a level of prominence in the company, especially in the public eye. So we'll see what exactly he will be up to from now on.
All right, next up. Xbox and Microsoft. I'm almost to the point of wondering why in the hell anybody would bother with an Xbox after the things that Microsoft has said. When Microsoft basically has implied that almost... Well, here's the thing. At E3, Microsoft kind of promised that everything that was going to be coming out for the Xbox would also be coming out for PC, at least by way of Windows 10. However, they have recently edited this statement. It was online and basically said every new title published from Microsoft Studios will support Xbox Play Anywhere, which means Xbox and Windows. That has been edited. They kind of snuck the edit in, didn't tell anybody, but it now says every new title published from Microsoft Studios that we showed on stage at E3 this year will support Xbox Play Anywhere. Very distinct difference. So yeah, good job, Microsoft. Good job.
Keep screwing the pooch the way you're doing.
Yeah, so that was their way of saying, oh, fuck, we just basically said we don't need anybody to have a console anymore.
Yeah.
Good job, Microsoft. Good job.
This is why you keep not winning.
Well, this is why I'm just basically like, yeah, I don't need anything beyond what I've got. So, I guess I'll be playing PlayStation now. Fuck you, Microsoft.
Yeah.
Moving on to Fig.
Microsoft. So, Fig's chief executive officer, Justin Bailey, has given people some notice about what's going on there with the issue with unaccredited investors. So far, they have been able to reap the investments from accredited investors, but due to regulations and the SEC's request for amendments, they're still struggling to get those unaccredited investments to go through. The game that's been hit the most significantly by this is Psychonauts 2, Now that campaign finished in January, but it's still having funds that are not that have not been given to them because of the of this delay due to the unaccredited investments. So let's see, if I recall correctly, what the amount that is. Okay, so Psychonauts 2 received about $13.5 million in total budget. So right now there is a non-disclosed amount of that still held in because of unaccredited investments. So we'll see. Maybe Tim Schafer might not see the development of Psychonauts 2, which kind of sucks because there were a lot of people who wanted to see this game happen. Me, not terribly. I was very content with Psychonauts 1, but more power to him.
All right. Marvel.
Is it me?
It starts with you, continues with me.
Oh, okay. Is it Riri?
Iron Man.
Oh, okay. I can't see the podcast list right now, so because my browser
I'll simply prompt you. Iron Man.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so very welcome. Go ahead.
All right, so we have a new Iron Man stepping up to the plate. Riri Williams, who is an MIT genius student, is stepping up to the plate in the Marvel. It's called the Marvel Now initiative. Yes, in the Marvel Now, the Where We Stand image, she is shown wearing like this, the War Machine armor, but apparently she is going to be the new Iron Man. We don't know exactly what's going to happen to Tony Stark, if he's going to have like more of a mentor role, or if he's moving on to a different identity. But yeah, we have the reveal, and of course, it is a woman, Riri.
Worst name. I still say that's the dumbest.
I suppose that you probably would have to roll your R's with that name, but
Riri?
even though just the first one, brief lesson in Spanish. Even though whatever. If you want to say something with a Spanish accent, an R is rolled only at the beginning of a word and if it is right in front of a vowel, and if it's in the middle of a word before of a vowel, you flip it. I can flip the R. I was born in Latin America. My native language is Spanish. I can't roll my R's worth shit, so Drew is going to have to roll that R for me. Roll it. Roll it, bitch.
If it wasn't what I just said, then we're all in trouble. When you tell me to flip an R, I'm like, flip it what? Flip it off? Do I give it the middle finger?
So, a bit of a background on Riri. God damn it. So, she was unfortunately created by Michael Bendis, and I say unfortunately because I am not a fan of his storytelling. He kind of goes around the Bendis a lot. Yes, but whatever. She was created as this 15-year-old engineering wizard enrolled at MIT, and Bendis.
Because the Marvel Universe doesn't have enough, young, bright minds. Amadeus Cho running around.
Well, currently Amadeus Cho is a ball of rage. So.
No, he's a ball of hormones.
That's the worst kind of thing. But in any case, Bendis cites a TV show that he worked on that was not released, that featured a character similar to Riri as the inspiration for the character. What's his face again? Downey Jr. has given positive feedback on the character, but of course, as typical as the as the sun rises in the east, we have the people on the internet saying that of course this is tokenism, that this is more of a social justice appeasement, whatever. I do want to weigh in very briefly on the whole thing. We don't know how the character is going to be written into the story, so we can't really judge right now what, if they're going for tokenism, whatever.
Well, let's be honest. First of all, they spoilers. They've killed War Machine, so they've killed Rhodey.
Yeah.
So you have already lost a black character who was functionally an Iron Man. He just didn't have the name. So it's not. I don't really see it as tokenism. You're replacing one black character with another black character. It just so happens that the male white character who was in the titular in the titular position is disappearing for a while for various reasons as of Civil War II.
He is spending time dead for tax purposes.
He's not dead. He's got emotional issues, shall we say?
I know, but I like to use that line in any case. However, some people might point out that saying that you're replacing one black character with another is part of tokenism. However, I'm not having that discussion. I'm focusing on one thing, because people keep saying, "Well, create your own characters. Don't blah 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 blah." This is valid in some criticisms. However, we have to remember that legacy characters are a thing in comics. And you just need to point out to the fact that Dick Grayson hasn't been Robin in 20 years. And in fact, Tim Drake is no longer Robin either. We have Damian Wayne as Robin now. What was her name? Madeline something or other was Miss America, but she's not Miss America anymore. America Chavez is America. And you can find that all across the spectrum. Legacy characters are not a bad thing. They just need to be written well. And when they're introduced, they can actually create new roles for the character that is passing down the mantle.
Carol Danvers is Captain Marvel.
Carol Danvers is Captain Marvel. Kamala Khan is Miss Marvel. And those were well written transitions. So we have to wait and see just how they're going to handle this and what will become of Tony Stark in the meantime, because the transition needs to be significant both to the character giving up the legacy and to the character taking up the legacy, and of course in some cases like Captain Marvel, that means you die.
Well, let's just add some fun here, since you were talking about going around the Bendis. Bendis and Alex Maleev will be actually adding some more Iron Man stuff, in that they will be working on infamous Iron Man, who is Dr. Doom. So we're going to have another thing with Marvel where they have gotten this sudden hard-on for multiple characters playing the same person. So we've got, obviously 2 Spider-Mans. You've got Miles Morales and Peter Parker.
And don't forget, we've had 2 Hawkeyes for forever to begin with.
You've got 2 Hawkeyes. You are now having 2 Captain Americas, Sam Wilson and Steve Rogers, who has now been re-energized, re-euthanized. Hail Hydra. So, yeah.
Hey! I called it. I called what was going to happen. What was going to be up with that Hail Hydra thing. I called it.
You've got now 2 Thors running around. You have, obviously the current Jane Foster Thor. Spoilers.
If you haven't been paying attention for the last one.
You haven't been paying attention. Spoilers. And the classic Thor will now be Unworthy Thor instead of Odin's son, because...
Oh my god, no. I want him to go, we're not worthy!
Yeah, and he should be bowing to Jane Foster while he does it.
Bowing to Jane Foster while he does it. That would make my day.
So now, now we've got 2, now we'll have 2 Iron persons. Iron person? I guess it would be funny if they called Riri as Iron Maiden, because that would just be wrong. So yeah. So,
well, when her soundtrack would be, so.
Yeah. So just, and so this is supposed to be, I guess, Von Doom picking up after, the events of him being physically restored and beautified, because that's what they do after he becomes God.
I am beautiful.
I'm beautiful. I was once God, but now I am beautiful, and I owe humanity. Sure. Go with that theory.
I owe humanity the gift of my beauty. You can just see him going, I feel pretty, oh so pretty, so pretty and witty and doom.
And speaking of that, let us move on now.
Let us move on.
To HeMan versus, or meets, or whatever he does things with the Thundercats.
Oh god, this is like the perfect collision of my entire childhood right there. This just kind of proves that DC does plan its storylines by playing with action figures, because we're going to get a comic crossover between He-Man and the Masters of the Universe and the Thundercats, also known as a dead franchise because Warner Brothers abandoned it in 2011. The Thundercats pictured in the new comic are actually the 1980s flavor Thundercats, not the 2011 relaunch. But otherwise, sounds pretty good.
And what gets me is it's the 1980s He-Man that they've got pictured in this particular image. Who knows if it's going to be picking up from the Eternia War or not?
Who knows? Yeah, and of course, this is all led by Lloyd Goldfine, whom and the artist is Freddie Williams too, whom you might remember also did another property, Batman meets the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I didn't read that comic. I wanted to, but
I'm crying internally.
Why?
I never read it. I'm just crying internally because I keep harking back to Batman meets Spawn.
That was the thing, wasn't it?
It was the most worthless, badly written. It made it. Let's just say it made the movie that shall not be named seem like a decent plot.
Well, I'm sorry, and I know this is going to be a very unpopular opinion, but I have always thought that Spawn was the most overrated character.
Let me just say that the Spawn portion of it wasn't the badly written portion of it.
I know, I just can't stand Spawn.
It was the whole problem with Batman calling everybody punk. It just got a little monochromatic at a point.
What's wrong, punk? You look like a duck.
You're such a punk. Anyways,
we're
running out of time, so let's move along.
Do you remember who wrote that, though?
I don't, and I've since either gotten rid of or burned that comic in effigy. One of the two.
All right, so what are we moving on to?
DC. You got 2 topics for DC.
Right, so we have now seen finally the debut of Jonathan Kent as Superboy. We saw him having his heat vision manifesting in Superman number 1, but in Superman number 2 he puts on the costume and he actually kind of helps to save the day. This hopefully sets off the kickstart for the allegedly upcoming Super Sons, of which we've heard nothing yet. But now we have Damian Wayne, who's going to be leading the Titans, the Teen Titans. We have Superboy, the new Superboy here, so here's hoping. I want to read that title. I really do want to read that title.
And Wonder Woman?
And Wonder Woman. So we have... this kind of makes me sad. So we have now had 2 issues of Wonder Woman with Greg Rucka, and they have been fantastic, and they have been a giant middle finger to the New 52, and they have been reestablishing Wonder Woman's origins, more or less. It's a bi-monthly comic, so the first one takes place in the present, and the other title takes place in the past, so we get to see some of the origin, and we get to see happy Amazons, happy bonding Amazons, not murder, rape Amazons, and that's how... Yes.
No, I know exactly, you don't have to go into detail, I know exactly what you're talking about, but
you know exactly.
I'm just laughing at the title.
It's murder, rape Amazons. Yes,
we didn't need Amazon's attack. It should have been called Murder Rape Amazons, and then we would never have gotten, oh my dear God, bees.
Bees, my God, bees. I want a dramatic reading of that script. But in any case, things have been turning up roses for Wonder Woman recently. Unfortunately, there is something that the writer of the Greg Rucka has done that kind of makes me go, oh, really? So Frank Cho, the controversial Frank Cho, whom has been accused of being misogynist, of being sexist.
We've covered him in the past.
We've covered him in the past. Has been drawing alternate covers for Wonder Woman. And so far, the covers he has revealed are gorgeous. They're not sexualized. They're not hypersexualized at all. And they show Wonder Woman actually as a very muscular kind of Amazon instead of this waifish nymphet that she has been during the duration.
Shown her dramatically posed as opposed to, like draw me like one of your French girls poses.
However, Greg Rucka has let his agenda blind him to the facts. He has been according to what Frank Cho says, Greg Rucka has almost editorial control over the title, which is not a bad thing because that someone needed to take over that. But unfortunately, he's also taking editorial over art duties, and he has vehemently opposed Frank Cho. Frank Cho says. And he claims that his covers show too much skin, that they're sexualized, that they're inappropriate, and that is not the case at all. And what rankles me is that Greg Rucka says that the covers show too much skin, yet in one of the scenes in Wonder Woman #2, Diana is emerging naked from the waters with only her hair covering her perky bosoms.
And the water covering her flower garden.
Her flower garden, and she's basically coming out like Venus, like Aphrodite. And the Amazons are staring at her, drooling, talking about which of them have been her lovers. So, I do not...
And in which order.
And which order. So, I want you, people of the internet, to take a look at the Frank Cho covers, and look at that, and then look at that scene, and tell me what shows the most skin, and what is the most sexualized. Because, yes, even though Diana is... it all takes context within a woman, female relationships, whatever. She is still coming out of the water in a sexy pose, looking at the other Amazons. There is no possible way that Frank Cho is showing more skin in his covers than that scene. And Greg Rucka did not protest that scene. He fucking wrote it. So, I really respect Greg Rucka as a Wonder Woman writer, but he's fucking dead wrong in this one. Frank Cho has shown a lot of respect for Wonder Woman in his covers, and in fact, drawing the Wonder Woman covers was the only reason that Frank Cho came over to DC in the first place. So it's just
and the poses are not anatomically impossible.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, compared to the David Finch cover where Diana is like doing this broke back pose with the shield and there's arrows coming out, and no, you look at this, Frank Cho actually knows anatomy. So there. Good for Wonder Woman finally not sucking. Bad for Greg Rucka at sucking.
So moving on to broadcast, American Horror Story. We still don't know what the next season is going to be. After Hotel has ended, we don't know what the next. We don't know where we're going next. That has not been announced. However, FX has decided to take the show, which is traditionally aired in October, along with the Halloween theme and all, and bring it into September to coincide with the standard launch of the new seasons. So it will be launching on September 4th at 10 p.m. Eastern. So I guess FX now feels that it is no longer niche and is actually strong enough to launch with a normal season of shows. So I'm really excited about that. It means I have to make sure that I update my calendar because I want to review this one. Because I fell in love with freaking Hotel. That was just missed in the head. But aside from that, and I don't have a graphic for that, for those who are fans of Game of Thrones, we all have known for a while that Season 7 and Season 8 are going to be truncated seasons. It was either going to be one season that was longer than normal or two shorter seasons. Because of the budgetary constraints and the fact that we are getting to basically the shit hitting the fan level of the show, they have decided to split it into two short seasons. We're probably talking, this isn't confirmed, but we're probably talking 7 episodes per season as opposed to 10 per season. Mm-hmm. And Season 7 has confirmed that it will be airing later than normal. Part of the problem is people have been blaming everything from the Brexit. And they're like going, no, this is not. This show takes, it films in 3 continents, 6 countries, 3 continents, only one of which is Ireland. For crying out loud. Now, unfortunately, the problem is with Ireland. It has nothing to do with the Brexit. It has to do with the fact that winter is no longer coming. Winter has arrived. So
winter is wrecking that shit.
Winter is all up in their grill, and because winter is in their grill, they can't film during the summer. They need to film when it is actually closer to winter in Ireland, and so while they would be filming now, they can't, because it's not snowing. So they have to postpone their filming for a little while in Ireland, which means that they have to postpone the airtime. We're probably looking at them delaying maybe a month at worst. So I would expect that even with a truncated season, the show will probably end in the same time frame that it ordinarily would end, but probably will air 3 weeks late. That would be my guess. There is no confirmation on this. There is no official date that they expect to start filming, or no official date that they expect to start airing things. So this is all purely speculation, but we do know it will be late. So next up, more me, Steven Universe. For those of you who love Steven Universe, avoid the internet. They. So the thing is France. Damn you, France. France. Cartoon Network in France actually aired a show of Steven Universe called Steven Floats that was not supposed to air yet. At least hasn't aired in America. So it's out on YouTube. You can see it there. Cartoon Network generally doesn't lay down the heavy ban hammer on stopping these. So if you really want to, you can. They have in fact also leaked out some things such as Bismuth. For those who have been wondering what and who that particular character is. Yeah, Bismuth has been seen. We know Bismuth is a person and will be appearing. There will also be a musical episode called Mr. Greg that will involve Greg, Steven, and Pearl. So these have all been leaked. They're all out on YouTube. I've seen them because I can't get enough. But if you want to see them literally normally on TV and only on TV, they start this week.
Stay away from the internet.
So they will begin airing new episodes. We don't know how they tend to do Steven Bombs, where they'll do one 15-minute thing every day. I don't think this is a Steven Bomb, so I'm wondering if they'll do it once every Thursday. I don't know quite how they're doing this. But it's meant to go from July 18th until August 12th. So there you go, guys. Keep your eyes open for what's going on Cartoon Network, and avoid YouTube if you don't like spoilers, like I do. I love spoilers. So next up, Netflix, Mouse.
Netflix and CW have finally reached an agreement to help you with their partnership. Now, CW will allow Netflix to air their shows only 8 days after their season finales. That covers Supergirl, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow, iZombie, and the upcoming Archie adaptation, Riverdale, which sounds like a gigantic mess, but I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt, even if Veronica is apparently the daughter of a Colombian crime lord.
What the hell?
Yeah, what the fuck. But yes, there you have it. Now you can get your fix a lot earlier. What did you do? Did you stop recording?
No. I removed something from the order of the topics, and unfortunately that resets the slideshow. I did not realize that. I took something out because we're going long. So, are we done with Netflix?
We are done with Netflix, baby.
I'm just going to say this Tomb Raider reboot movie is a thing. Warner Brothers will release the new Tomb Raider film, currently planned for March 16th in 2018. Yeah, they like to give a date in 2018, go figure. Hollywood Reporter has said that this is a reboot, and it will be starring Alicia Vikander. I don't know how to say her name. Vikander, why not? So, there you go. It's meant to be drawing inspiration from Crystal Dynamics' current series of the games, so it will be based off of the current incarnation of games, as opposed to,
the 6 billion different incarnations.
Yeah, it won't be the Angelina Jolie version. So next up, Mouse, is Star Trek. Let's be real brief on Star Trek.
So okay, long story short, it has been revealed that the character of Hikaru Sulu in the upcoming Star Trek movie is going to be revealed as gay, as an intentional homage to George Takei. George Takei is not too happy about that, because he says, although he finds finds it a nice move, he does not want it because it is not respectful to the characters as Gene Roddenberry had originally intended them to be, and that he had no issue playing a straight Zulu because he is, he is gay, but he is not gay actor in that he just only plays gay characters. Zachary Quinto, the new Spock, respectfully disagrees with that position, and he thinks that this is an important thing to happen to the Star Trek franchise. And wrapped in all of this is, of course, the fact that this is happening during the 50th anniversary of the franchise, and so that is why that is why George Takei thinks this is not very appropriate, because they should be celebrating Gene Roddenberry's vision, not altering it. But that's where it stands right now.
All right, and I took out one topic, so we're going straight to our roundtable. So, Pokemon Go. This was supposed to be our our first topic, but so much shit has happened in the past week. I don't even know how to. Miles, you tell us about finding dead bodies. Let's start with that one.
So we have had people finding many sorts of different things. I believe there was a teenage girl in Missouri who was out hunting her Pokemons like you do, and she stumbled upon a dead body. No foul play was suspected. It looked like an accidental drowning, but still, player walking around. Oh, I think there is a. Oh my fucking god! There's a dead body in there.
Well, you gotta find your ghost type Pokemon somewhere.
And here's the thing. I am kind of like a morbid motherfucker. When I read that news report, I thought, if you add Jessica Fletcher's friend to the headline, it turns into a Murder, She Wrote episode.
So, we've got that. We have people walking into traffic. We've had a situation where 2 people sustained injuries while falling down a cliff in California. We have 2 teens who were arrested in Toledo after jumping the fence to get into the Toledo Zoo. And, LA police are chasing people who are wandering onto their neighbors' lawns. So, that's just America. There's more.
There's more. My take on this is, honestly, if you're so goddamn fucking stupid that you're going to walk into traffic following your Pokemon, I'm sorry, natural selection, you do not deserve to live.
Well, let me just skip the more, and let's get to Congress.
Oh, God, yes.
Congress is declaring that Nintendo has a corporate responsibility to protect people from their bad decisions. That is not a corporate responsibility. That's called Darwinism.
Well, and what I want to ask them is, so where is their responsibility to protect us from their bad decisions?
It floors me that Congress goes, yeah, Nintendo, you need to stop these people from being stupid.
Yeah, and
well, it wasn't Nintendo who started them being stupid. It was us.
I want to draw attention to the fact that Al Franken is the one doing this. Al Franken wants to punish a company for people being stupid. Al Franken. I think he's taken the joke too far.
Well, he wrote a letter to Niantic asking them what they're doing with all the information that they're collecting. Now,
the girl!
I'll be honest. Okay, first of all, Niantic did screw up early on. Those of us who play on iPhone, and I play, but I've really gotten bored of it, so I don't play as much as I started. I pick up the phone once in a while and go, oh, look, there's nothing near me. Okay, put it back down.
Out in the sun.
Yeah, I've done that, and I'll tell you a story in a minute. So basically, they did screw up initially in that when those who play on iPhone had to give access to a Gmail account, and originally they were accidentally giving full access. I was one of those.
Yeah.
That has been corrected. It now literally just says, I need to know who you are and what your email address. Yep. That's all it asks now.
But here's the thing. Where were they when the NSA was, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, Al Franken has no right to be outraged that Niantic is taking information when the majority of those motherfuckers were perfectly fine with what the NSA was doing. It's like, this is a double standard here, motherfucker.
And more importantly, at least Pokemon asked permission.
Oh yeah, and Pokemon fucking asked permission. The NSA did not ask me, oh, can I collect all of the data about you everywhere and anywhere? No. So there's a difference right there. This is just absolutely ridiculous. So, I mean, what's going to happen next? If girls and boys start getting injured by playing, I don't know, hopscotch, or they're going to hold chalk companies responsible? Seriously.
So let's go on now to the bigger aspect of this. Apparently
Yes.
there is a socialist magazine called the Jacobin, I guess, or Jacobin.
The Jacobian.
Well, whatever it is. They're basically saying that Pokemon Go must be destroyed, and this is what I was reading this and I was laughing my ass off earlier to my house.
You need to read it in a Russian accent. The Pokemon must be destroyed.
No, I'm not going to bother. Basically, some of the arguments it was using, and this was the one that got me laughing. The state could probably quell an uprising by scattering hundreds of rare Pokemon away from the central square. And my comment was this. What are we here for? Justice. When do we want to... Ooh, Pikachu! Really? 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 They said if they wanted to, this is the magazine. If they wanted to, the game's creators could send people leaping willingly off cliffs. Now, while people have done it, I'm going to point out that wasn't the government. Dawdling on train tracks or running into forest fires. My response to that is no, that's called Darwinism. You don't deserve to breed.
Well, not only that, I want to know what kind of forest fires they have run into themselves that they think that you will not feel it, because this is where I'm thinking that these people have actually never left their homes and have never interacted with nature, because they do not understand that fire actually has a field of warmth as you approach it, and as you get closer and closer, your body starts going, no, get me the fuck out of here. Do they just think that, oh, here's a bit of a flame, I'll just jump in it, and that's when I start feeling the heat?
Charmander, he's on the other side of the wall of fire.
No, nobody is going to be walking into a forest fire to catch a Pokemon, because they will feel the fucking wall of heat 10 to 20 feet before, if not more, depending on the intensity of the fire.
So let me hit you with the first day I got. Okay, now for those who don't know me, I constantly avow that I don't own a cell phone. I do. It's right here.
I know you do.
I own a cell phone. I don't use it because I don't like to use it because I don't like to be tethered to shit. And I don't like people calling me, quite honestly.
Says the man who has a Steam account.
Shut up. I don't play video games out in the field, so... Anyways, so I decided to get it and to play Pokemon Go. Because I thought, oh, well, people are actually using it to exercise, and I can go outside and actually walk. So, good idea. I'll give it a shot and see if it, how well it sticks, because I have a park near me. And I put it on the phone, and I walk out the door, and I have the phone in my fucking pocket. I walk down to the corner and the phone vibrates. So I'm like, oh, there must be a Pokemon nearby. So I literally pull it out of my pocket and I look, and it tells me that there is a Weedle. And I try, and this was the day, when the servers were locking up perpetually and everything was going on and nothing worked. And I threw the Pokeball and I don't know what happened and it just locked up on me and I'm like, fuck it, and I put it in my pocket. And the girls who are across the street look over me and they go, did you find a Pokemon? And I looked and I said, apparently there's a Weedle over there somewhere, but I don't know what's going on. And they're like, oh, seriously? Are you kidding me? I'm like, I'm doing it for the exercise, girls. I'm not doing this for anything else. So I mean...
Are you going to let this shaming of teenage girls keep you from having fun?
It's because it's not fun to me. It had nothing to do with it. I did go out and do my walk. I've done it a couple times since then. The problem is that I have realized how many Pokemon I have to fucking catch, and I just don't have the energy or time to bother throwing a little ball at people. So I'm like, fuck it, I can just walk. I don't need to be actually looking for things. So that's me. So let me there's one more thing that I need to add to this. beyond the fact that there have been actually, like, the Sydney Opera House has invited people to come. There have been companies that have just absolutely embraced this. There are people who have found friends that they would never have spoken to otherwise behind this. So I'm going to add this just one more flavor. Understand, we are all about incorporation. We embrace lifestyles. We embrace choices. So the thing I'm about to say, please, Muslims, don't take this badly. Some people in your community scare me and should probably not be breeding. Islamic countries, and I'm going to specifically call out Egypt, the imams of Egypt, have declared a fatwa against Pokemon. This is actually the renewing of a fatwa that was first brought up, I believe, by a Saudi imam back in the Grand Mufti, I believe, back in 2001. They have declared Pokemon Go as haram because they feel that it leads to people looking like drunkards in the streets, because mosques have become Pokestops, and thus they feel that the mosques have been somehow diminished. It undermines the significance and value of places where people worship. And this is the one that gets me.
What does it get? What does it get?
Why am I hearing music?
Someone's calling my phone.
Did Pikachu call you?
No, it was
Are the
Pikachu.
imams after us?
I think they might be.
Okay. I'm glad they called you first.
I just sent them a text saying I can't talk to you right now. So.
Okay, so I guess the head of Turkey's Diyanet, I guess that's how it's pronounced, which is the government's official Islamic agency, has condemned the game. He has gone so far as, according, I guess, to the Agence France Presse, he has suggested that the game is a Western plot against Islam. And I'm like, it was created in Japan, which is about as not Western as you can get, in that they're Eastern.
Yeah.
It's called the Far East for a reason, people.
Google it. Google is a thing.
So I'm like, it's a Western plot against Islam? Really?
I guess Japan is West enough if you go far enough.
If you have to go across us, I guess.
Yeah. No.
But, I just saw that. I'm like, what? Really? So, people, just gonna say, Pokemon Go is a game. Put it the fuck down once in a while. The game actually tells you to do that.
Yes.
It tells you to watch where you're going. Mm-hmm. People who have found corpses clearly are watching where they're going.
Yes.
People who
notice that they say they found corpses, not stumbled on a corpse.
Yeah. People who fall off cliffs should not be breeding.
Yeah, exactly.
People who walk into forest fires, don't be breeding.
Honestly, no. I want to meet the person who walks into a forest fire following a Pokemon, because that motherfucker has no nerve endings in his body.
He deserves all the fire type Pokemon he can get.
Yeah. I'm like, no. How do you even do that? No, it's impossible.
And again, for the people who found the corpses, good on you and your ghost types. There you go. Bring your psychic types with you. Solve some crimes, because apparently the police can't do it all the time themselves.
You do realize that now this is going to turn, somewhere on the internet, someone is going to turn this into a webcomic or a series of a Pokemon hunter solving crimes
With their psychic type?
with their psychic type Pokemon. That is going to be a thing. I am calling it now. I am making a prediction like Jim Sterling. Thank God for Jim, that this is a thing that's going to happen. If it's not happening, you better fucking do it, because this would be just awesome.
And thus we come to the end of our round table.
Indeed.
Which wasn't so much a round table as us going, really, people?
Yeah, there's an issue with... The problem that I've noticed with having round tables when we're talking about games is that, like, 90% of the time, the topics that you could pick for a round table is us basically going, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Because there just seems to be a lack of nuance currently in the world of games. So some of you developers out there might want to actually change that. it gets old saying, what the fuck is wrong with you people? I'm having a hard time finding out new ways to do that.
And it's not even and this time it's not even the game company's fault.
And people reacting to games. Google stuff before you say something. Don't make us Google it for you. I wouldn't even know where to send that to begin with, without exposing my identity to, I don't know.
Well, hello, show.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, I have no problem with religions per se saying they feel that this is perhaps a waste of time that could be used more productively. That's a different concept. But saying that just because you act like drunkards in the street and that it's a Western plot.
Well, the worst thing is that the article that used a picture of a mosque in it with a Pikachu in it, showed it. It was taken at the women's section of the mosque. So there's Pikachu, which is a male character, in the women's section of the mosque. And I'm going, okay, someone is going to
genderless,
whatever. But everybody calls him him.
Calls him him, but there's only a handful of Pokemon that actually have assigned genders.
Yes,
that would be the Nidorino and the Nidorina and the Nidoking and the Nidoqueen.
How do you pronounce that again?
The Nidorans become male or female. They become Nidorinos or Nidorinas.
Yes. Okay. But in any case, do you really think that's... Uh-oh.
The remainder of Pokemon are meant to be genderless.
Give me 1 second. Windows 10 is about to... Okay, never mind. I just had a pop-up of that update that says, oh, if we're going to update in now, so you better not do anything. But I deferred the update because I have shit to do.
Oh,
but yes,
Hillsboro was not Hillsboro. Western Baptist something church.
Westboro Baptist Church.
Yeah, them. That they're the fact that personally, now if I were Nintendo, I would be suing them because of what they have done. I guess they were a Poco gym, and somebody took it over with Love is Love, the Clefairy. I actually have a Clefairy. But they took it over with a Clefairy named Love is Love, and the church decided to use somebody who could sound like, oh God, which one was it? Jigglypuff. To basically set, anti-homosexual messages. And in other hate speech. And personally, if I were Nintendo, I'd be like, no, fuck you. You will be paying us now. No. Because that we won't tolerate. Nintendo, get on that shit.
Well, what I find interesting is that how long has Pokemon been out? 2 weeks already?
Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go, that's what I mean, Pokemon Go.
I'm like, how long has Pokemon been out?
Like, since 1988. Yeah, I know, but I'm talking about the app of which we're speaking in the roundtable. It's been, what, 2 weeks already?
About that for America, yes.
For America. And I just find it, I don't know, it's entertaining, amazing, and amusing just how much it's sort of just incorporated itself into almost everything we're doing as a culture. Because there's Hillary Clinton there making the most awkward, I don't even know what to call it. She was saying, I don't know who made Pokemon Go, but I want to know how we make them Pokemon go to the pools. And I was, no, honey, no. But yeah,
well, politicians, they tend to make a stretch on anything they don't understand. So
no, but it's a thing. Pokemon Go is very much sort of incorporated itself very quickly into the US. Pornhub now is not as popular.
Beat Pornhub. That was hysterical.
Porn is now less popular than Pokemon Go in search terms on the internet. So
go figure that one out.
Go figure that one out. I am sure that is going to turn into one of those Overwatch kind of things. I mean, I'm sure it already was, but now it's just gonna. You're going to see that very strange Venn diagram of porn and Pokemon.
I don't need that Venn diagram. I know it already exists. Rule 34, Pokemon. You think it hasn't happened? It's happened.
I know.
all over the place.
All over the place, and 90% of that isn't for Affinity, I bet you. But
Well, that's if you want just the Pokemon, because the trainers are
yeah,
fair.
No.
Fair. Anyways, so that's our roundtable. We don't need to go any more down this particular rabbit hole, literally, pun intended. So we're going to wrap it up here, kids, and we will hopefully be back next week, unless the fatwa has gotten us, or we've been something. The government could silence us or whatever.
Hopefully, with a review of the new Ghostbusters movie. We wanted to go this weekend, but CC wasn't feeling up for it. So
enjoy YouTube, because I'm not going to bother seeing it.
I don't know. There have been some good reviews of that.
I watched Angry Joe's spoiler review, and I just don't care for it. So,
well, I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt, like Dawn of Justice. It could be awful, but I will not know until I see it myself. And if it is awful, you get the entertainment of Rage Spew review, and if not, then you get a good review.
So there. Show's over. See you guys later. Peace. If I could find a way to stop it. Where's the stopping button? There's the stopping button.